one of the biggest steps is just to break patterns, right? Like, you just have to call out tomorrow. You have to call out Tuesday. We have to create a call out on Tuesday, and you need to do something. You either need to go to some Goodwill stores, buy some stuff and post it on eBay like we've talked about. You need to reach out to 5,000 people on Twitter that day that you admire and ask them if you can have a cup of coffee. We've talked about that. Some of you have successfully done that with me and Mark Cuban and the craziest entrepreneurs and famous people in the world. You know, so maybe that's what you do. Maybe on your call out Tuesday, you go to 6 interviews for different jobs that you've been holding off. Maybe on your call out Tuesday, you go and visit your grandmother or your dad and have that conversation that you needed to have, whether that's I love you or whether that's, hey, I'm not gonna be pinned down by your negativity anymore, I'm going to do it. You know, motivation's exciting, but the practicality of an execution is even more importantly, and so I sit here today and I make this video, and I say it's a call out Tuesday. Call out of work tomorrow. I'm excited to see if anybody calls out of intermediate. Call out of work tomorrow. Do not go to school tomorrow. Do not do what you normally do tomorrow. If you hated today's Monday, if you hated waking up today, if you loved the weekend, if you can't wait for Friday, and do one of those 4 or 5 things that I just told you, or something else that I haven't thought about, or the reverse. Why don't you take your kids out of school? Your kids are not gonna remember 4th grade Tuesday English class, but taking them somewhere, just you guys doing something fun, is something they'll remember forever. And so, that's what I wanna do with this video. I wanna inspire a call out Tuesday, then action. I don't wanna hear that you slept into 11:30 and just moped around and ate some Fruity Pebbles. Action. As a kid in elementary school, I didn't even really think about one day what happiness would be. You know, at some level, I was just super happy to be in America at that point. You know, I lived in a very immigrant kind of upbringing, the first couple of years being in the US, in New York, in a pretty tough situation. So when I think about elementary school, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's just such a happy time. I was so happy that I wasn't really even thinking about, happiness in the future. I was grateful already at that young of an age. My dad was working every minute. I already had to kind of be the man of the household with a younger sister, and so. I think a lot of people are confused right now and they see the negatives in social and digital, and they're seeing people scale hate. What they don't understand is it scales everything, and it's on us. If you're so happy, then start putting happy into the universe. Right now, the people that are most unhappy are the ones who are loudest in their content on social. Nobody tweets, great job, Qantas, on the flight we just took. A machine just went in the air, landed safely, I had a nice coffee, I had Wi-Fi, I bought some sports cards. I don't land and tweet, Qantas, great job on my flight today, but if it was a 3-hour delay and they were out of coffee, the amount of people that tweet, fuck you, Qantas, people are unbelievably interesting to me. We stay the 98% that are happy are staying quiet, and the 2% that are miserable are loud, and it confuses the other 98%. And I don't want to do that. I'm putting it, I think this morning on the way to the shower, I tweeted a blue heart. That was it. And that's just nice.
And the internet went wild.
I don't know if they went wild, but I think one human seeing that maybe just thought, that's nice. To me, we need to start doing that. We need to make, maybe this is the podcast, this is the moment. Let's make a call to arms. If you're in a good mood, fucking share it. Because this tiny percentage, and guys, the reason we are still here all these years later is human beings are remarkably good. To remind everybody, we have had atomic bombs that can wipe us off the face of the earth now for 70 years. We're here. We've had genocides, holocausts, we've had the Black Plague, we've had world wars. We're here. And everybody is unstoppable, and everybody's dwelling right now on a rise of nationalism and hate, which is terrible. However, let's contextualize it, and instead of judging people and calling them racists or bad people, why don't you go loud about good? Instead of getting sucked into doing more hate around people who hate, why don't you actually combat it? Why don't we learn from Martin Luther King and from Gandhi and from other people in the past, which is you do not defeat hate with hate on hate. You defeat hate with love at scale. And we all have our 14 followers, our 1,000 followers, our 8 followers, and instead of flexing about your new handbag or your hot new sneakers or the hike you took or the remarkable meal you're having, what about putting out good? What about co-signing somebody that did something nice? What about watching somebody open the door for an old lady and roll up on them and make a video and tell them about this nice kid? We need to get louder about happiness. If we all collectively do that, I have a funny feeling the internet will feel a lot more happy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is. It's a little quote book. It's called CCA. Like the podcast, it's a happy quote for every day.
I love that.
And people like everywhere, I'm like, life is pretty awesome. I mean, we're in a really exciting time. It's a great time to be alive. Be excited about it.
400 trillion to 1.
Yeah.
400 trillion to 1. That is the current scientific odds around being a human being.
And that's something that...
Did you know that? 400 trillion to 1. You are more likely to get struck by lightning 10 times in your life than have one. It is the great miracle. Like that whole miracle concept, like the baby's a miracle. It's actually true. It's actually true. And so people are walking around moping about their mom being a jerk or their brother stealing their money or somebody, or their pimple on their face, or they can't get a new Supreme, or or
the
some
Garyvee sneakers sold out. It was like so fucked up.
Or like stuff that, I don't know why this specific thing drives me crazy. People yelling at baristas for using the wrong milk. I mean, that to me, I don't know what it is about that one. You know, people literally yelling at somebody, no almond milk, you asshole. They just bought a $6 coffee. Like, do you know how blessed you are? Like,
yeah.
I mean
a $9 coffee, Gary, come on.
Respect. The most important thing I think about when I think about getting to happiness is not so much owning anything, it's the ability to not hear anything but yourself. There's nothing more powerful than when everything gets quiet and the only thing that penetrates is your own voice, and that voice isn't judging you.